On this week's edition of Vents, the hell, why does it have vents? We have a Toastmaster. Yes, an actual labeled Toastmaster. Everyone calls everything Toastmaster, Toastmaster, Toastmaster. No, this one's actually labeled Toastmaster. This is made by Air-Cool. It also looks like a Caribbean Breeze because that was also made by Air-Cool. This flared motor was made by Air-Cool. All of the Caribbean Breezes, Air-Cool. In fact, this is probably Air-Cool's oldest motor design. Although I believe the older ones are probably cast iron or something. This one's stamped steel. But the flared top side of the motor, oldest design they had. Okay, so it is it's a 4-blade brown spinny boy, and this one's vented. Because of course it is. Yeah, don't see that very often, do you? But yeah, this is the first vented Caribbean Breeze style motor I've ever seen. Saw this on Marketplace. Alright, figured that's cool, but when the hell am I gonna be in the friggin' Springfield, Massachusetts area? Well, it just so happened I was in Boston. Alright, started heading down 95 after I dropped somebody off somewhere. Alright, and then she calls me, oh, come back, they're being stupid. So I turned around. Alright, and then I got to where I needed to go, and then she's like, oh no, I have to stay. Alright, but so basically, I got to check my phone at that point and saw a message from the guy. Actually got back to me and I was like, okay, I'm a little further north, I'm gonna go for it. So I did. So, anyway, let's see what it does. I am using a Hunter 4-speed wall control. I think it's rated for 1.5, maybe 1.6, I don't remember. So, this is low. As you can see with this control, it has an aesthetic low, which I think is very cool. Very, very cool. And I mean really aesthetic low. When I got this thing, the whole top of the fan was covered in pet dander. You know, pet dust. Like a huge, thick layer, caked on layer of dust. So I feel like wherever this thing was hanging, it was probably the room where the pets were kept. Like, oh, you want to keep the dog in the pet room or cat room or whatever. Alright, you know, you do that. So let's go to medium low. And of course, with that kind of constant use, the bearings sound like a train. Although they're worn, they're smooth. Yeah, smooth at least. Albeit friggin' loud as hell. So this is really just your average medium speed for a 36-inch fan. Let's go to medium high. Now I have the non-vented normal version practically new in its box, but this vented one, nope. Never had one, never seen one until this one popped up. Also notice it has a normal metal bell canopy. This was a Toastmaster thing. And you see the shape of the bell canopy, how it's flat on the bottom instead of your normal bell. Of course, I'm keeping it on there with electrical tape because the set screw hole had been all dicked out, so that has to be retapped. Let's rate the high. And yes, it does go faster on high speed compared to medium high, so it's not getting a resonant frequency. And yeah, the thing, not only does it fly, but it sounds even worse. I mean, the air-cool, quote-unquote, Caribbean Breeze design was always a cheaper model. Under Moss, under various labels like Scotty's, this and that, it was always an inexpensive model for its time, which in this case was probably the early 80s. Let toast. However, these things are still neat today because they are reasonably powerful, despite their seemingly cheap build and this and that. They sold zillions of these things. Because of how cheap they were, they sold them in huge numbers. There was a restaurant on the boardwalk of Ocean City, Maryland. Not a restaurant, a bar actually, that had a whole bunch of these with a few other random fans thrown in for good measure. Right, they were the non-vented one, but they were still brown. They had the walnut blades. Eventually the building was torn down and replaced along with the whole everything, so it disappeared. But yeah, a vented Caribbean Breeze style air-cool just doesn't seem right. Seems like something's out of place with it. Like it's unnatural, basically. But it's also obscure, and that's exactly what I like. So, there you have it. A vented Toastmaster 36-inch brown Spinny Boy.